The identity of the author of the RC Manifestos, including as well the third manifesto, The Chemical Wedding, assuming its authorship was initially also anonymous, remains open to debate even as I write this, some 400 years afterwards. So, is it possible that the RC Manifestos were written by John Dee just prior to his death in 1609 AD? Could the characters of Abraham of Worms and Frater CRC have been a fictional romanticization of Heinrich Cornelius Agrippa, 1486 to 1535, and Paracelsus, 1493 to 1541, respectively, by the respective authors of the Magic of Abramelin, 1608, and the RC Manifestos in 1614? Or were Abraham of Worms and Frater CRC actually themselves both only students of Nicholas Flamel, 1330 to 1418, as had been both Agrippa and Paracelsus the students of Abbot Trithemius, 1462 to 1516? Was the Chemical Wedding, third RC Manifesto, really written as a ludibrium on utopiae by Johann Valentin Andrea, 1586 to 1654, and did this work's real author intend to correspond the date of the events described in it to the exact date of the signing of the first Freemason constitutions in 1459? Was the RC order as described in the manifestos real? Might the cipher manuscripts of the 20th century Golden Dawn order, discovered to have been written in a code developed by Trithemius, be evidence that Frater CRC, possibly with Abraham of Worms and Nicholas Flamel, founded the RC order in 1407, just as described in the manifestos, and that Trithemius, Agrippa, and Paracelsus, ostensibly as well as Michel Nostradamus, John Dee, and Judah Lowe, had all been actual members of this real secret society, whose formation undeniably later had such a strong influence on Freemasonry? Is Rosicrucianism merely a philosophical sister system to that of Freemasonry, or were the Golden Dawn rituals originally intended to be the inner order behind the Blue Lodge initiation rituals of Freemasonry? All of these are valid questions, with definite, although as of yet unknown, answers. Besides the 1516 AD Utopia by Thomas More, 1478 to 1535, there was another novel written prior to the 1619 work Christianopolis by Johann Valentin Andrea, 1586 to 1654, that can be said to fall into the same literary genre, and this may lend credence to Andrea's claim to have written The Chemical Wedding in around 1605 as a ludibrium parodying the premise of the RC Manifestos. In 1602, the work La Città del Sole, Italian for The City of the Sun, was written, later published in Latin in Frankfurt in 1623 and Paris in 1638, by Tommaso Campanella, 1568 to 1639, an Italian Dominican friar and philosopher. This work, subtitled A Poetical Dialogue Between the Grand Master of the Knights Hospitallers and a Genoese sea captain, his guest, describes a theocratic monarchy where goods, women, and children are held in common, that also resembles the city of Adocenton in the Picatrix, translated into Spanish in 1257, an Arabic grimoire of astrological magic. If Andrea wrote Christianopolis in 1619 as a ludibrium of the 1602 work City of the Sun by Campanella, then it would seemingly substantiate his claim of having written The Chemical Wedding likewise as a similar joke on the RC Manifestos. Whether the RC order, as described in the RC Manifestos, was real or not, by 1647 AD, the idea of such an invisible college was being advocated and possibly even assembled by Robert William Boyle, 1627 to 1691. Based on this premise, the Royal Society of London for Improving Natural Knowledge, commonly called now simply the Royal Society, was founded in 1660 by a charter from King Charles II, 1630 to 1685. Thus, whether the original intent of the RC order was to form an international secret society, or simply to forward the Protestant Reformation toward the direction of physical science, by the second half of the 17th century, just such a council of learned elders had assembled as a school in England, tasked with just that purpose. The connection of inspiration between the RC order and the Royal Society is a matter of much historical accounting and considered relatively indisputable. However, the difference between an order based on or inspired by another earlier order and an order that is authorized and chartered as a copy or extension of any original order may be very different in both intentions and actions, words, and deeds. In this sense also confer the Golden Dawn, inspired by the RC order, even if not authorized as an exact copy,